So, why is the medicine man crazier than the chief? Well, in a lesson of class or an episode of Finding Freedom, I mentioned that I was going to do this video and explain how the medicine man and the chief normally work together. See, think of this like Star Trek, right? You have Spock or the Doc, so on and so forth, etc., that works with the captain, Kirk, so on and so forth, and they work together. Now, Spock was half human, and because he was never trained on emotions, if people played with emotions to push him a certain way, if you've seen Star Trek, Kirk was able to do this to him and get him to put hands on him, which would, well, justify, it's like breaking the Geneva Convention, right? So if you don't know what that is, do your research. But those of you who have been educated in the Geneva Convention understand what I'm referring to. By the way, I just got one of my bracelets back. I just ordered one because I had met a friend in a bar. Some of you might know him, but I'll keep his name out of it. But I gave one to him, and I thought I lost it. But then I remembered that I gave one of my beaded bracelets to him. So I'm excited about that. I have another one coming. And then we have the tiger's eye. This one is black onyx or something like that, spelt with an Y, not an I, for those of you who like playing with Mandela effects. So why did I state all that? Well, because if a doctor was rambling, you'd be in tune to what they were saying, right? Because of, well, either the white coat, the credentials, or whatever. This plays upon social proof and everything else, and psychological understanding as to grooming individuals to, well, listen like children, right? This is why in certain places they would say, speak to me as though I am a child, which was from the movie Margin Call, because not everybody will understand the jargon or the things that we are saying. However, I'll break it down for you, Barney style. So let's get into it. See, a chief typically deals with politics, military, or leadership roles, whereas the medicine man, the holy man, the spiritual leader or healer will deal with the invisible or things that one cannot see. But because you can't see it, does it mean that it doesn't exist? See, if you can see the leaves and the branches moving behind me, does that mean that the wind is blowing? You cannot see it, but you can see the effect it has on the branches and the leaves behind me, right? So the medicine man would figure these things out and put in a lot of time, effort, and test things on themselves. Remember the movie Sherlock Holmes? He would come up with ideas, test it on himself, test it on other things, and then push it out, so on and so forth. Doctors do the same thing with trials. Remember when they were cloning sheep? Well, if you saw the other video, if they're able to make clones, the Impossible Burger, AI, and everything else, they can not only make organs and vital organs that they can go ahead and utilize for people that need a heart transplant, kidney transplant, but they can utilize CRISPR technology to reprogram DNA, shoot that in you like an iOS update to reprogram the body to make you healthier. Think about that, because CRISPR technology is scientific, and ask anybody in the STEM field. Well, if you combine that with the Impossible Burger that they sell that's been made, well, famous, you can also end hunger for certain individuals, lowering the costs across the board for everybody. And everybody knows that, well, people in the financial field will definitely hear this quote: no matter how much money someone makes, they will always find a way to spend it. So when it comes to the supernatural, mystery, or visionary behaviors, that would be handled by the medicine man. And because of the sacrifices and time that was put into certain things, the medicine man might get upset when people start cutting the product or messing with the medication that's supposed to solve the problem, not just treat it. So you're not milking people for their cash. You're actually solving their problem the first time. And the reason why the medicine man would get upset, think of it like a drug dealer. See, Gary Vaynerchuk states that drug dealers are the, well, purest form of entrepreneurship. Now, what happens if you cut the product because you're trying to hustle or make a little bit of extra money on the side? Well, then if they find out, that means you're tainting the product with something else. You could potentially kill somebody, cause other issues to occur, And now, where did you get that product from? Oh, I got it from this person. Yeah, but why did you cut the product to make a profit when the product was supposed to be used to solve the problem, right? Ozempic causes thyroid tumors and cancer. Nobody cared. They didn't pitch that, but it's on the website, right? What if you were to fix that issue, right? But you can't, because you have to have differentiation in products if you want to have money. Think of it like an English class so that you don't plagiarize or go into copyright infringement, right? So think of it like that, right? And does the pharmaceutical companies work with the medicine man? Think about it. Why is FISA a legal issue, but then you have the Pfizer Corporation that makes pharmaceuticals? Spelt differently, sounds very similar. The clue is, well, right in front of you. Now, when it comes to shared responsibility with the chief, see, the chief and the medicine man both make sacrifices. See, the medicine man has to not only make sacrifices when testing or putting things in there to the village, I should say, because some people might be a smartass and says it takes a village to keep a village in check. But when another village is sick, all of a sudden they come to the strong village that has the science and research and information to heal them, all of a sudden looking for help, and then they get back to, well, butting heads. I guess that's why they wear helmets in football, so they could take an impact over and over again instead of, well, chilling the fuck out for a second. And then you got the chief that handles all the stuff on the political side, laws, legalities, etc., dealing with politicians, senators, governors, mayors, etc., their points of view, because they say that there's his, hers, and the truth. So you have left, right, and center. Well, I've never seen anybody in the center, so on and so forth. There's a handful of people that are there, but there's a lot of division that's occurring. So the time that it takes to protect everyone under their charge also feeds into, well, why they would get upset, right? Because if they took the time out of their day to watch a group, or should I say the masses, to watch over the masses, to protect them, so on and so forth, then don't you think they would get upset if somebody from another village or somewhere else would try to impede on the people that they were trying to protect? I mean, think about it. Doesn't it make sense? Right? So, let's get into it, right? I mean, would you be upset if you played the role of the medicine man and, let's say, mother and father, right? So the father's the chief, the mother is the medicine woman because, well, you have her feminine personality types are normally more nurturing, which is how nurses and doctors are supposed to care for their patients, along with a couple other things, supposedly. I don't know. And then, of course, dad deals with all the other physical stuff, like a chief would, etc. So don't you think that mommy would get upset if somebody was messing with her children? Or if mommy was purchasing things from a trusted source or thought of trusted source, and that thing was not just exacerbating certain symptoms but not healing anything at all? Would mommy not get upset and then tell daddy about it, who would play the role of a chief in a dynamic relationship? Now let's make this 2 women or 2 men, right? Don't you think the masculine individual and the feminine energetic individual would converse and discuss what's going on and then get upset about that? Obviously. And what do they say? Happy wife, happy life, and all this other stuff. See, daddy wears the pants in the relationship because mommy picked out the pants and mommy makes daddy happy. See, when mommy's upset, daddy's upset because it gives him a headache. Think of it the same way, right? Especially if you're in a leadership position or you have certain credentials that you're supposed to be utilizing to keep people safe. Yeah, we give people driver's licenses all the time. How many of them do you see crashing into people on purpose or causing accidents on purpose in order to cause harm to feed the insurance companies? Not very many. But how many people in the medical field are doing things such as treating the symptoms and not the problem, and then justifying that with their license and credentials to law enforcement to try to make someone else sound, well, dumb, like they need a dunce cap, like they need to look like Dumbledore sitting in a corner. So, these are some of the reasons why the medicine man is sometimes crazier than the chief. See, from a physical health standpoint, the medicine man, in our case, we have the medicine man that falls underneath the Hippocratic oath, the expression, don't be a hypocrite, etc. But if you don't ask specific questions, they can lie through omission or lie by way of omission because, well, all they would have to say is, you never asked me that, so I didn't have to tell you. So I just refrained from telling you. See, because omission is technically not lying. But if you were to ask a question precisely, specifically, with fact, based upon evidence and research, and then they lie about it, now they're caught in a lie. It's no longer omission, and their ass can get what I like to say, peanut butter jelly time. Prison, jail, pick one, so on and so forth. Jail's temporary, prison is too, but it's just for an extended period. So remember that, and when you hear the song, peanut butter jelly time, mind you, somebody might be singing that because they know somebody might be going to prison or jail. So I will talk to you guys later, and in the next video we might start, well, coming out with some more ways to not only get the point across but to tell a story. See, they say that the pen is mightier than the sword, but if you've seen Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, see, he was given a pen, and when he clicked it, it turned into a sword. Why was that? See, it was a metaphor, right? Because words, free speech, communication, the word words has an S. You bring it to the front, it spells sword. So is the pen mightier than the sword? And before you say anything, look up the value of graphite, which comes from graphene, and its comparison in weight and value to, well, things like gold. Think about it. Is it the weight that makes gold valuable? Is it its use? Or is it the scarcity that makes it valuable, or at least the perceived value of that element that comes from here, otherwise known as an type of ore? Does it make it valuable, right? Because aesthetics increased perceived value, as well as, well, give people shiny object syndrome. You want them to work hard, think carrot and stick, and say, you see that thing there? That's very valuable. If you want more stuff like that, you can travel over there, you can do this, that, and the third, and maybe you'll get it. But I want you to come back and tell me how you did it so that I can now take it away from you, use that for myself, make up more rules or change the rules or laws so that it benefits one side, not the other, leave you in the dark, misinformed, and now you're still in the poorhouse. Remember, during the Great Depression, the thing that made the most money was entertainment. The question is, who's getting entertainment out of your life, making fun of you, saying things like love hurts, who hurt you, etc. See, before Venus, there's Mercury. And if Mercury was supposed to get along with Venus, but Venus wanted to do their own thing and didn't understand, hey, Venus, don't get too close to the sun for you will surely disappear. Well, then I guess that's why Earth was created, with different individuals. And then of course you have Mars, where men are from, because men are from Mars, women are from Venus. If you saw that in class, or at least one of the lessons in class, then you understand what I'm stating. If you do not understand what I'm stating and you are about to ramble off and run your mouth with lack of understanding to the content and the context and the way that it's being presented, ask yourself this: what upset you? Was it the fact that I started talking about planets? Was it the conversation that I just had? Was it the words that I expressed freely, or the bullshit that I just caught all of you in? Till next time, my friends, I will see you on another video of Finding Freedom. Till next time, mwah.